It's a warm mountain morning in this old Newland gym, a place where dreams are born, a place where one man's dreams stand above the rest. The man behind the summer camp for more than 3 decades, 7'2", Tommy Burleson. He's a legend in these parts.
That must have been frustrating not being able to dunk it.
It was, especially in college and high school, yes.
You couldn't dunk in college either?
No,
Right.
that's right. We were forbidden.
Like the famous Christmas tree roots on these mountaintops, Burleson's roots are here in Newland too, a place he returned to after a legendary basketball career. He was once a county commissioner.
I haven't been in here in a while.
You haven't?
Nope.
These days, doorways might be Burleson's biggest opponent. Across town, the Avery County Historical Museum tells the story of Burleson's success. He's a key member of the 1974 NCAA National Championship team at NC State, a team that blocked UCLA's historic run after 7 straight championships.
By winning that, now you're known, your legacy as a champion. NCAA ring, remembered every year, March Madness.
Indeed, Burleson's a legend at NC State, but it's another memory on this wall that brings even more pride, the 1972 Olympics.
I pretty much put that on top of the NCAA championship. I mean, I'm on the United States Olympics team. I trained here in trained here in Avery County. I was running 17 miles a day. I was in great shape. We had our tryouts at Colorado Springs, which was a mile high. I ran rings around everybody. After the first week, I was leading scorer, leading rebounder.
He was on cloud 9, never imagining what would happen in Munich, what would haunt him to this very day.
This was the day I signed with NC State.
We headed back to Larry Smith's Christmas tree farm. Larry's an old friend who knows Tommy and connected us.
Yeah, I think they had 7-foot beds for the tallest guys.
A quiet place to talk about 50 years ago this month, the 1972 Olympics in Germany, where a mountain boy found himself in Munich.
To know that you're representing the United States, now you're being recognized as a world-class athlete. It was definitely the greatest moment of my life, yeah, at that point in time, yes.
The greatest moment until the early morning of September 5th, when Palestinian terrorists stormed the Olympic Village.
The Black September group came in. We heard this pop, 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 like 2 o'clock at night. I said, ooh, fireworks. And Kevin Joyce says, no, that's not fireworks. He said, I'm from the city. That's gunfire.
This is an ITN newsflash from the Olympic Village in Munich, where early this morning armed Palestinian guerrillas raided the sleeping quarters of the Israeli team. The gunmen shot dead 2 Israelis and are now holding 20 athletes and 6 officials as hostages.
The terrorists demanded Israel release hundreds of Arab prisoners in Israeli jails.
I go down to the breakfast, and everybody's talking about, that they've taken this complex under siege. So I'm talking to the Canadian guy, and he says, you want to see it close hand? And I said, sure. I went over to him, to his apartment buildings, so we could look straight across, probably from here to the Christmas trees, and see the Arab in the green releaser chute with the Uzi machine gun, walking back and forth, talking to the guys. A guy pop outside and then come back in. I'm going like, this is not really that safe.
Believe it or not, the athletes could still come and go, and Burleson left for lunch with his girlfriend. After dropping her off, when he came back, he came into a parking garage.
As I approached the door, this German soldier comes up to me and he says, son, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. He says, we're bringing out those hostages right now. I'm going, really? And he's going, yes. He said, stand face that wall, put your hands up. And he put his gun in my back. And I looked to my left, and there's the 2 Brazilian players laying face down on the pavement in the parking lot, and they've got German soldiers with guns in their backs. I'm there with my hands like on the wall, and I can still remember the blemishes in the concrete and everything. And the guy in the green laser suit steps around the corner, and I have really good peripheral vision, and I looked at him. And we sit there and stare at each other again, about from here to the Christmas trees. And when I did that, the German soldier took the gun out of my back and he put it in the back of my head and he said, face the wall. And I said, okay. And I'm going like, I didn't say anything, but I'm just going, yes. So that's the time I started praying. God, just help us through this event. The bus backs in. I'm standing there. There's there. The Germans are really upset that we've come in the middle of this. And now the 11 hostages, Israelis, athletes and coaches, are walking out, and they're right behind me. Again, from here about to the road there, 25, at most 25 feet, maybe 30 feet. And I can hear their emotions. I hear some of them crying.
Then, as fast as a gun poked him in the back, the bus was gone, and a helicopter took off with the hostages inside. Later, Tommy and the rest of the world would learn Israeli athletes were all dead in a shootout at the airport.
I dream about it every now and then, and it gives me bad dreams. I get really, I'll wake up at night screaming, and my wife, and I'll just, trying to catch my breath, and then, the wall, and then actually I've had a couple of dreams where the wall's blood's running down the wall. I don't know if it's the wall's bleeding or somebody's been shot and the wall is splattered on the wall, but I'll be dreaming, and then that wall will be covered with blood.
Just days later, Burleson and his teammates would get back on the court.
Did you want to play?
Not really. I guess, we played, it was just sort of, it just started, you have a passion for the game, and then when you're part of such a, just a tragic melee, you just suck all the life, suck all the energy and passion out of it. So, it didn't matter.
Go to their big man, Alexander Belov. They're going to try.
In one of the most controversial endings in basketball history, Russia beat the U.S., and Burleson never played. He was benched for letting his girlfriend visit his apartment. The game was so controversial, the players refused to accept the silver medals. To this very day, those medals sit in a vault in Switzerland.
We say as a team we don't want it. That's fine, we don't want it. And I respect that, and I abide by that. But to bring the medals back and put them in the Naismith Hall of Fame, and then, take 2 of them and put them up for auction, which would make them very rare, and then split that money between the 12 families, I'd go for that.
Tommy patiently and methodically answered question after question. But my last question was a question he's still not ready to answer 5 decades later. His expression and emotion taken back 50 years ago in a split second.
Do you ever think about if you'd have the opportunity to meet the families of the Israelis? And
Don't cry. Don't do that to me.
50 years ago, but it feels like yesterday, and probably always will.
I lost 2 sons.